Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimad Gopal Krishna Goswami Tamane Prabhupada Chaitanya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyanan Gyana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sirupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Shindo Dinabando Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneswari Vishavano Sati Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauravaktabinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai. So first of all, I'd like to thank Bali Mardan Prabhu for kindly inviting me to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 2, Chapter 7, Scheduled Incarnations with Specific Functions. It's from the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is a series of lectures been going on for many weeks. And today, especially, we're talking about this scheduled incarnations of the Supreme Lord, which, as Srila Prabhupada mentions, is like the unlimited incarnations of the Supreme Lord or avatars is compared to waves in the river. It's unlimited. You cannot count them. It's impossible. Just like you cannot count the waves of the river, so similarly, the unlimited incarnations or avatars of the Supreme Lord is very difficult to count. And then Srimad Bhagavatam mentions many of them, but not all of them, of course, is not possible. So in the seventh chapter of the second canto, there are mentioned about 25 different incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Lila avatars, Manvantar avatars, Shakchavesh avatars, also vibhutis of the Lord, uh, and their prime purpose, why they descend. That means the avatar means one who descend from the spiritual world, coming down to the material world. Specifically, they come for specific functions or duties, and they are named accordingly. Um, God has unlimited names also according to his function or duties. And various activities of Lord Krishna also are mentioned in this chapter, from his appearance and all of his different incarnations. So, yes, it says that it is easier to count the number of atoms than to describe these different incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Um, but even Ananta says you cannot describe all of them. Um, but devotees, they can understand them just by hearing and by surrender unto the Lord. Um, by surrendering unto the Supreme Lord, the devotee will be able to get the mercy to understand also. So we will discuss some of them, these different incarnations, and mainly their different functions or duties. The first one that was mentioned here in the seventh chapter is about the appearance of Lord Varaha. He's the boar incarnation who appeared to lift the planet Earth when it is drowned into the Garbhodak Ocean. And he's the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord who killed this demon named Hiranyaksha with his tusk. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are two incarnations of Lord Varaha uh, was mentioned. And first one is that white incarnation, the Sweta Varaha, and there's also a red incarnation. Then the second one mentions in here in the seventh chapter is Suyagya, or the son of Prajapati and Akuti. Um, they're demigods, the Suyagya, headed by Suyama in the womb of Dakshina, and as Indradev diminishes very great miseries in the three worlds. He is also called Hari by the father of mankind. The next Kapila Dev, is the incarnation of the Supreme Lord who expounded the Sankhya philosophy, the son of Kardama and Devahuti. He spoke about the science of self-realization to his mother and liberated her in that very lifetime. Yes. Then Dattatreya, son of Atri, who appeared being prayed by Atri. He blessed the Yadus, Haihayas, etc. with material and spiritual blessings and purified them. Then the four Kumaras, the Char Kumaras, the first sons of Lord Brahma, they're eternally like 5-year-old boys because of their Shakti or their penance, also their austerities, and they were celebrate celebrated for being celibate. Yes. Um, and yeah, they appeared in the Brahma, who underwent great austerities for creation, but then they decided not to procreate, to follow the instructions of their father, and somehow or other they just became just very small, like small boys, 5-year-old boys. As Prabhupada says, this is the only instruction coming from the spiritual master that one doesn't have to follow. If the spiritual master told you to get married, you can say no. It says that in one of the purports. Next, Naranarayan, their son of Murti and Dharma, came to exhibit his personal way of austerity and penance. They're so austere. They became so powerful, and that even Cupid could not break his vows, their vows, Naranarayan. Then Prishnigarbha awarded Dhruva, the planet, to Prince Dhruva. Yes, Prishnigarbha is the one who awarded Dhruva the planet, the North Pole star, where even at the time of annihilation, it will not be uh, annihilated. It's considered as like almost Vaikuntha because it's eternal, cannot be devastated at the time of annihilation. Then Prithu Maharaj is a very famous king among the monarchs. He is the topmost. Um, he delivered his father, King Vina, from hell. King Vina, this is mentioned in the 4th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, whereby he ruled the planet, but because he is very atrocious, so much of his atrocity made the whole planet suffer. And then the Brahmanas, they decided to get rid of him by mantras, so that King Prithu will come and appear from his limbs. And also Queen Archie, the queen of King Prithu. So yes, when he first came, he saw that the planet Earth withdrew all the natural elements, vegetables, food, the fruits, and so on. And he made Mother Earth to also produce again all of these different elements for the benefit of the citizens. Then Rishabh um, mentions the 10th incarnations here. Rishabh is the ideal king as well, the son of Sudevi and Nabi, and he performed materialistic yoga to equibalance the mind. Jada yoga, he performed especially this Jada yoga, Rishabh, but it's very, very advanced, considered as he taught his 100 sons, headed by Bharat Maharaj, where our planet is called Bharat Varsha. So yes, Rishabh, he gave up his kingdom also, and he performed great tapasya to achieve the desired goal of life as an exemplary, that he can give up these material attachments. And then there is Hayagrib. He is the personified sacrifices, the Vedas, and super soul of all the demigods. all the sweet sounds, as all the sweet sounds of the Vedic hymns came out of his breathing. Um, and then Matsya, fish incarnation. Mm, Supreme Lord, he appears as there are as many species of life. It's like there are 8,400,000 species of life. So similarly, the Supreme Lord, he comes as there are many species of life. That's why we have this fish incarnation, Matsya, or Hayagriv, the horse incarnation, or we have Varaha, yes, or Ananta, um, the snake incarnation, or half man, half lion, Nisinghadev. So Matsya, he came during the Satyavrata, who was by Vashvata Muni as a shelter of all living entities during the annihilation. Yeah, he saved uh, again the whole planet. And the Vedas came out of Brahma's mouth out of fear of water of annihilation, and the Lord enjoying those water protected by the Vedas. Yeah, it's very, very interesting story of Matsya, who was found by a king, and then it became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It cannot be sustained in a body of water. Then there's Kurma, again, another incarnation of the Supreme Lord, um, who is the tortoise. He's had this itching sensation, and his body was used as the pivot um, for the churning also of the ocean between the demigods and the demons. Yeah, he lifted the Mandara mountain on top of his body or shell. So movements of the mountain caused itching sensation, and this caused the Lord to partially sleep. It's like being potted. Um, so the nectar also, the main purpose of that is that the nectar will come, Amrita, so that whoever will take that Amrita will never die, will have an eternal life. And then also another incarnation of the Supreme Lord appeared, part of that um, Dhanvantari, Dhanvantari. And also Lord Shiva also was part of that pastimes whereby he drank, because before the nectar will come, the poison came out first. And it was Lord Shiva who saved the universe from having this nectar being spread all over. So that's why another name for um, Lord Shiva is Nila. He has this blue, his neck. There's a blue color. Then came Nishingadev, who killed Hiranyakashipu by placing him on his thighs, piercing with his nails, and rolling his eyebrows in anger and showing his fearful teeth and mouth to save um, Prahlad Maharaj, one of the topmost Vaishnavas. Prahlad Maharaj, as a young boy, has been tortured by his father for being a devotee. Prahlad Maharaj, he was saved by Narad Muni also um, from within the womb of his mother, um, and Kayadu. While being in the womb of his mother, Prahlad Maharaj, Narad Muni taught him Bhagavat Dharma, and Hiranyakashipu, who is the king of demons, he wanted his son to be like him, or even better, or the best of demons. But Prahlad Maharaj, being a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, he never forgot the teachings of Narad Muni, that when he was asked by Hiranyakashipu what is the knowledge that he learned from the Gurukul, and he mentioned this 9 processes of devotional service, that he became so angry, and he wanted to punish him, and ultimately he wanted to kill him. So Nrsimhadev appeared to protect his devotees. Then, next incarnation of the Supreme Lord, uh, Hari, um, Lord Narayan, who came when this Gajendra, the elephant, has been beaten by the crocodile. Gajendra being attacked by the crocodile, and he prayed. He was a king before also, but then he was cursed to become an elephant. Um, but there you remember the Supreme Lord, and he prayed, "O Deliverer, as famous as a place of pilgrimage, all are purified simply by hearing your holy name, which is worthy to be chanted." So hearing these prayers of Gajendra, the Lord appeared with his chakra wheel and killed the crocodile and lifted the elephant. This is also in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then the Lord appeared as Vamana Dev. He came as a dwarf incarnation, a very beautiful feature of the Supreme Lord, that Bali Maharaj, who was performing some sacrifice, he stopped, and he became so attracted to the beauty of Vamana, and as a Brahmana, uh, he is given benediction, or he was offered by Bali Maharaj some donation. And Lord Vamana, he just asked for 3 steps of land. And Bali Maharaj was asking him, "What? You're only asking for this much? Only 3 steps of land? That is practically nothing. I can give you a kingdom if you wish. I can give you as much as you like." But then Lord Vamana says that a greedy person, you may give him everything, but he will still ask for more. I'm just satisfied with 3 steps of land. Um, and this Sobhamana, on the first step, he covered half of the universe. And when he took his second step with his left foot, he covered the entire universe, and he pierced the coverings of the universe. That this is where Ganga came from the toes of Lord Vamana. And then the third step, nowhere else to put, because he took over the whole property of Bali Maharaj, being the emperor. Actually, in the beginning, Sukracharya, he was telling Vamana not to give anything, because he knew that this is none other than Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu, and he will take everything. But because Bali Maharaj, he gave his promise, and therefore he doesn't have any other choice than to complete his promise. And the third step, he offered himself. He did not think of anything. Um, and he offered his own head where he can, or where Lord Bamana can put his head, his step. So in this way he fulfilled, but then he was punished by Lord Bamana by tying him with Vashuki, that snake also, Vashuki. And at the same time, because he surrendered everything, Bali Maharaj, to Lord Vamana, so he gave him a planet also in the nether region of the universe, where he promised to be the guardian of this planet. Then there is the Hamsa avatar. Hamsa avatar means the swan incarnation of the Supreme Lord. And he taught Narada about devotional service. Everything that Narada knew about devotional service has been taught by um, Hamsa avatar, which is especially understandable by persons who are souls surrendered unto the Lord. Yeah, it's a swan incarnation. Then the Manvantar avatars. This Manvantar avatars is the one who wrote the law for men. Um, there are unlimited, practically Manvantars avatars also in our universe and other universes as well. There are 14 uh, Manus in one day of Lord Brahma, and then you multiply that by 30, and then you multiply that by 12, and then Lord Brahma, he lived for 100 years, then thousands of Manvantar avatars in one lifetime of Lord Brahma. But then in each and every universe, there is also Lord Brahma. So, and then how many universes are there is practically unlimited, that when Mahavishnu, when he um, exhaled, then there is a creation again. Then on the pores um, of his skin, all of these different universes will come. So practically unlimited Manvantar avatars. Then Dhanvantari, um, just anyone who hears the name also of Dhanvantari, it can be quickly cured. Um, and this could be also Dhanvantari is the demigod also, but at the same time, incarnation of the Supreme Lord in uh, in this in this medicine, Dhanvantari, more than the demigod, of course. The cause of long life for the demigods. It's like the Kaviraj of the demigods. And the one who's inaugurated the medical science in the universe. And the Vedas, all the information is coming from the Vedas. All the different departments are included in the Vedas, because the Vedas means knowledge. Then Parasuram is the Satriya who uprooted all the impious Satriyas in the planet 21 times when they turned to um, become astray from the path of the absolute truth. So he killed the Satriyas that time um, 21 times. And Prabhupada says he's one of the Rama. Prabhupada says there are three Ramas. It's like when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is Parasuram, Ramachandra, and Balaram. But when we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, specifically is Balaram, who is none other than Lord Krishna himself. And then there is Ramachandra, who is the son of Dasarat. The ninth canto is partly the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, mentions very wonderfully. Is the son of Dasarat in Ikshvaku dynasty, who went to the forest under the father's order. Somehow he was um, in exile, and his wife Sita Devi, who is none other than the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. She went along with his brother, also Lakshman. Um, and he was the one who killed Ravana. Is again the demon. It's um, one of the expansions of Jai and Vijay. That pastime again in the Srimad Bhagavatam, whereby the life of Jai and Vijay that were given three times lifetimes as demons, and this is one of the demons, Ravana, who was very fond of gold. Hmm. Is being aggrieved for Sita Devi, and yes, he crossed over Ramachandra. Lord Ramachandra, he crossed over the city, going to Lanka, and that time, the Lanka is the place of Ravana, and he pulverized the pride of Ravana along with his life heir. It's very nicely described in the um, ninth canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then there is Krishna and Balaram. Um, we'll discuss a little bit more later about Krishna and Balaram. But Krishna Balaram, Prabhupada says there is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. Krishna is the original fountainhead, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the cause of all causes. Janmadi asayataha sarvakarna karnam. And Balaram is the first expansion of Lord Krishna. Prabhupada says there's no difference between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is the color. Krishna is bluish black, and Lord Balaram is whitish, crystal white in color. However, the mood is a little different. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Lord Balaram is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. And he comes, Lord Balaram comes sometimes as an elder brother and sometimes as a younger brother. It's like in the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra is a younger brother, Lakshman. And in the pastime of Krishna and Balaram, 5,000 years ago, his older brother. But how can he be an elder brother if Krishna is the source of everything? So this is the pastime, Lila, Lila avatar. But actually, they're not Lila avatars because Krishna and Balaram, they're the source of everything. They're what you call avatari, the source of all the avatars. So Krishna and Balaram, they're always together, never separated somehow. This is their eternal relationships as brothers. And then Vyasadeva, Lord considering his own compilation of the Vedas, he's the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. It's very difficult for less intelligent, and then he divide the Vedas into different branches. And even after compiling the Vedas, he felt not very satisfied. And the only reason why he's not satisfied, Lord Krishna says, he should compile the Srimad Bhagavatam because he did not clearly explain the nature of the supreme personality of Godhead. And that's why the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Amala Purana, the topmost Purana, the pureless, pure or spotless, stainless Purana has to be mentioned. Then Lord Buddha came. He's Saktyavesh avatar. Saktyavesh avatars means there can be two, direct and indirect, or sakshat. Sometimes the Supreme Lord comes directly. That means empowered also. It's like Brahma is a position, but then sometimes not. No jiva, living being, can take the post of Lord Brahma, so then he will come. Lord Krishna will come himself and take that post. So it's direct. And then there is indirect. That means the jivas, they are empowered. They have this very powerful function is being given to them, and Lord Buddha is one of them. He bewildered the minds of the atheist and preached some religious principles when atheists, being well versed in the Vedas, destroying the planet. Jiva Goswami says this Buddha appeared in a different Kali Yuga. So not Lord Buddha who appears, they're the same. So one thing about the incarnations of the Supreme Lord, they their appearance are described in the Shastras. Their appearance, their place of appearance, the father and the mother is also mentioned. That even Kalki, who is at the end of Kali Yuga, will appear to destroy all the demons. There are another 427,000 years of Kali Yuga, and he will appear at the end of Kali Yuga. So Kalki also will kill with his sword, because everyone practically at that time will become like demons. No more religious practice. It says even after 10,000 years, no more religious practice. Kali Yuga will be so rampant. So Kalki will come at the end of Kali Yuga. And then the Guna avatars, finally, they're mentioned. Guna avatars, that means three modes of material nature, and the predominating deity in Kali Yuga, in mode of passion is Lord Brahma. Then in the mode of goodness is Lord Vishnu, and in the mode of ignorance is Lord Shiva. So all of them have different representatives, manifestation of the different energies of the Supreme Lord. So, yes, the appearance of the Supreme Lord says that anyone who understands, Bhagavad Gita says this also, that anyone Janma karma chame divyam evam yo biti tattvaha chakba deham punar janmana iti mamiti Arjuna. So the Supreme Lord, he comes not just to annihilate the demon or to protect his devotees, but specifically the Supreme Lord, he appears to attract the conditioned souls by his different pastimes to go back home, back to Godhead. The Supreme Lord is so um, eager, so much more than the jivas who are in the material world to go back home, back to Godhead than they do. There's different pastimes of the Supreme Lord, especially the pastimes of Lord Krishna, very attractive. But according to the acharyas, it's more difficult to understand the superhuman pastimes of the Supreme Lord as Lord Krishna coming is more difficult to understand than the pastimes of Lord Varaha. This is uh, this is stated from by the acharyas. The kids just like the killing of Putana, overturning of the cart, uprooting Arjuna trees, chastising Kaldiya, saving the Brajabasis from the forest fire, simply by closing his eyes. Such are his superhuman activities, or the binding of Lord Krishna by Mother Yasoda, showing the universe in his mouth, saving Nanda Maharaj from Varuna, releasing the coward boys from Vyamasura, awarding Brajabasis promotions to the highest planet in the spiritual sky, stopping the puja of Indra, lifting the Govardhan hill to protect the Brajabasis when he was only 7 years old, beheading Sankachuda, killed many demons, both in Vrindavan and outside, um, either personally or by his devotees, and awarding impersonal liberation or personal abode to them, to the demons that he killed. Um, it is easier, that's why it says here, text 40, it is easier to count the number of atoms of the universe than to estimate the greatness of Lord Krishna. What to speak of Vishnu's prowess? It is impossible even to know the extent of his material energy that even Ananta Shesh, who has thousands of mouths, cannot describe um, this pastimes of the Supreme Lord. But if one can attract his mercy, the Supreme Lord's mercy, by his unpretentious and unalloyed surrender, then he can understand Krishna and cross over the material ocean. This is very important, being unpretentious, not being a hypocrite, and unalloyed surrender. Then we can understand Krishna's mercy will be bestowed upon those personalities, and we'll be able to understand this nature of the Supreme Lord. So yes, great personalities, including Brahma and others, who were thus successful in attracting Krishna's mercy. And this is one of the examples of one who attained such mercy. And then, yes, the path to realize Brahman and Paramatma are inferior to Bhakti. So yes, Bhakti is being glorified also in this chapter. And they will be able to be given achieve, or they will be achieving the goal of life, which is Krishna Prema. So everything in the universe is the Lord, but still he is indifferent to everything in this universe. This is the Achintya Veda Veda Tattva also mentioned here in this chapter. Um, so we have somehow or other pray to the Supreme Lord that somehow or other our goal ultimately is to see Krishna in his personal form by practicing devotional service, especially by the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And somehow or other, when we reach that plateau of purified chanting, they will be able to witness also the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. But some, not everyone also are who's practicing bhakti are attracted to the personal feature of the Supreme Lord as Lord Krishna, and some of them are attracted in some form or another. Some they like Lord Ramachandra or Lord Nisinghadev. Um, but
There are
in
some
this way,
questions are coming on the
yeah, or
group.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So so somehow or other, whatever is our heart's desire, it will be revealed to us as we make progress and become purified in the process of devotional service. So all of these pastimes are full of bliss. And hopefully one day we'll also witness these different pastimes in person. So, okay, I hope I didn't take too much time, but
No, good.
we'll,
I think we have few questions, Maharaj. Let me, from here, if you want, please unmute yourself. But before that, yeah, somebody speaking, go ahead. Okay, I think unmuted or something. Okay, let me post the one from Facebook. The question
okay.
is, can we relate modern science theory of evolution with Lord's numerous incarnation mentioned here? Also, we speak about only Dasavatar. Are they are the most prominent ones amongst all?
Yes, they are. Well, the first one, I cannot understand the question about science. Was that question again in the first one, the first part?
How do you basically relate with the modern science with the incarnation? Evolution.
Well, the modern science, they cannot understand these things because for them to see is to believe. They cannot fully understand. No one can understand the nature of the absolute truth, not until you follow the process of bhakti yoga. So this evolution, theory of evolution, yes, we are when we perform sinful activities, then we take birth in the lower species of life, and then we evolve to become a human again. But then the Supreme Lord, he takes these different forms, but it's not because of karma. These different forms like animal form, um, like we mentioned, Matsya, Varaha, or Nishingadev. He did not take these forms because of karma. It is according to his sweet will that he takes these forms. And yes, in the Jayadev prayers, thus avatars, are 10 main incarnations of the Supreme Lord. Um, this is uh, this is how he composed this song, the Das Avatar. But there are unlimited incarnations of the Supreme Lord, as we mentioned earlier. But for us, this is just what we've heard. But in other universes, the Supreme Lord appeared in different forms. So if you want to know more about them, then maybe you can travel in other universes. because it says also that Srimad Bhagavatam, a big chunk of the Srimad Bhagavatam is in the heavenly planets, that we don't have access to them. So more incarnations of the Supreme Lord are mentioned there. Any other question?
Yeah, on the phone, those who are here in the Zoom, please ask. Open up, unmute yourself.
Balibarda Prabhu, this is Radha Gopinath. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu.
Haribol.
Prabhu, thank you for this wonderful lecture. There is one thing, I have two questions. Actually, I'll start with one. Is you mentioned that Lord Brahma is in mode of passion, Lord Shiva is in mode of ignorance, and then Lord Vishnu is
Yes.
in.
No, he is not. They're not. They're predominating deities.
Okay.
But Lord Shiva is not in ignorance.
Okay, so I didn't understand what was the context of that when you said that way.
No, well, it's like these three modes of material nature. Lord Shiva's function is at the time of destruction, he will be the one who will be dancing by his dancing. And he's in the predominating of the modes of ignorance. There are different gunas. There are guna avatars. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time of annihilation, he is the one who will perform this. Maintenance is Lord Vishnu. Mode of goodness is more difficult to maintain than to destruct. And the mode of passion is Lord Brahma, creation. Okay, so this is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. But Lord Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. And those who are in ignorance, they worship him. And he's one of the names of Lord Shiva is Ashutosh. He's easily pleased that anyone who offers him even, small amount of offering, he fulfills their desires. But he is not so pleased if they worship him as the Supreme Lord. He's more worship. If we worship Lord Shiva, you can worship Lord Shiva. Vaishnavas also can worship Lord Shiva to get rid of the obstacles in devotional service and to enable to enter Vrindavan. He's the chokidar of Vrindavan. Chokidar means he's the one who check if you can enter Vrindavan or not. But he's not in the mode of ignorance. He's transcendental. He is none different than Lord Krishna also. Lord Brahma in the Brahma Samhita compared him as yogurt. Krishna is the milk. And milk transformed into yogurt is Lord Shiva.
So Prabhu, again, I'm a little confused here. So if we pray to Lord Shiva, and if he's, as you explained, he's the yogurt, then why one is in ignorance?
What do you mean one is in ignorance? You are in ignorance because you identify your body as a self. But if you identify yourself as a soul and you worship Lord Shiva, then he gives you benediction to make an advancement, to enter Vrindavan. If you identify yourself as a servant of Lord Krishna, then he will let you enter Vrindavan. He gives both to the demons and to the devotees.
It's 7 o'clock.
But for the devotees, he gives bhakti. To the demons, they become more materialistic. But that is not his fault to give to those who are in ignorance. That's what they want. He'll provide whatever they want. It's like many demons Many demons, they get benediction from Lord Shiva, but then that will be the cause of their destruction. Hmm?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for clarifying.
So we have some feedback from, not feedback, is comments in Facebook.
Okay.
Balaram, the little Balaram from Brajavilasini, Vrindavan Priya saying Hare Krishna, and Kripali Mataji saying Hare Krishna, and Satya Gopinath from Berkeley, one they're watching, they are saying Hare Krishna. So like that, there are a lot more.
Hare Krishna.
And the devotee who asked question is from Singapore, Ananda's cousin. She's also watching, so saying Hare Krishna and thank you for your answer. So we will take one last question from the Zoom call. If anybody has.
Balivardhan, Prabhu.
Yeah.
If nobody has a question,
Let me see if anybody has any from this call. Zoom call, please unmute yourself.
I could just ask that in some of these purports, especially toward the end, Srila Prabhupada is speaking again and again about that you have to hear from genuine devotee and not from a professional reciter. And
Yeah.
people have come to me and said, why don't we do like Bhagavat Saptahas, where we have our devotees, speak for 7 days in a row about Srimad Bhagavatam or recite the whole Bhagavatam to an audience. And, I never had any answer other than Srila Prabhupada never asked us to do it. And that this conception of doing it or the way it's done by the professional men won't help us really advance the devotional service. Can you, how would you respond if someone asked you that? We want to do a Bhagavat Saptaha with devotees.
First of all, for the general class of people, it is better to speak upon first with the Bhagavad Gita, because we have to, you see, Bhagavatam is especially for the advanced studies. I mean, we're talking about Bhagavatam every day in our temples. That's more than Bhagavat Sapta. But then for general class of people, it's better to teach them first about the basics. You're not this body, you're a spirit soul. Krishna is God, we are all his servants. Just, we cannot even understand this basic understanding. What to say, you want to reach the moon, but you don't even know how, this is what Prabhupada says. It's like a child wants to reach the moon, but he cannot do it. He has to learn the basics first. So yes, but some of our devotees, they do Bhagavat Sapta or Bhagavat Katha in India for many days, but they don't speak on the whole Bhagavatam. They speak in one subject matter. Let's say Prahlad Maharaj, teachings of Prahlad Maharaj, or about Dhruva Maharaj. Sila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, he did not do it also. Mainly he was speaking on Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, the teachings. So those who wants to have this Bhagavat Sapta, actually they're not ready yet, actually, to hear it. They just want to hear it to enjoy. And Bhagavatam is not for enjoyment. It is for enjoyment. Once you realize your position, you will enjoy and you will relish. It is for relishment, but then that is the highest level of spiritual realization that you will relish. In the beginning, they just relish, they just enjoy, but then after hearing the Bhagavatam, what do they do? They don't even chant their rounds, or they don't do spiritual activities. It is just meant for enjoyment for others who want to hear normally the Bhagavatam, especially the 10th canto. But we don't usually adhere to this. First, learn the ABCs, Krishna Tattva, and then you will relish Srimad Bhagavatam. When you're ready, then you'll be able to understand and relish this. So yes, we do Bhagavatam every day, but we don't finish the whole Bhagavatam in 7 days. It takes 11 years to finish the whole Bhagavatam if you do it every day. So why don't they do it by that first? Try to hear that, systematically from first canto to the 12th canto. So some of these people who wants to hear the Bhagavatam in 7 days, actually, I'm sorry to say, they take things very cheaply.
Thank you, Maharaj. Very nice explanation.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. So just would like to share one quick thing before we end this call. So if you can see my screen, I would like to see Maharaj's bio is there. If you don't know, Maharaj is a sannyasi, disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj, and he has been serving in Vrindavan and various places, Philippines, and also right now he's serving in Russia. Plus, as Maharaj said, that we need to continue with our Bhadra Purnima campaign. If you don't have a Bhagavatam, receive a Bhagavatam. We are in ISB, which is Vaisheshika Prabhu's main mission is to really every householder, those who wanted to read Bhagavatam, should at least get a copy of the entire Bhagavatam. We are here to help you out. You can reach out to us anytime. Plus, also we are educating people, those who like to be a teacher. Teach Bhagavatam. Also, for North America, I am really leading. We had a ministry symposium going on, and please join us, reach me. If you want to be a teacher in North America, we will help you out and train you how to become a teacher also. So last but not the least, next week's session is June 13th, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, given by Grace Akurnath Prabhu. Please don't miss the chapter 8, which would be on that day, chapter 8. So please keep in your calendar and join. So with this, we would like to thank you, His Holiness Bhakti Anugrah Janardan Maharaj, for joining from Moscow. It's too early in the morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Please
Haribol.
Thank
So
you.
I would say
Thank you.
please unmute yourself,
Thank
and before you go, I just like to launch the poll. So please rate today's class how you like, how you felt, and after that you can drop. So thank you very much, and so please chant Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
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 Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Krishna Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Jai.
We will
Thank you.
see you
See you
again
next
some
week.
other time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.